Hey guys, it's Mountain Walk, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about friggin' top 10 stuff things. Oh my gosh, this is another friggin' sweet top 10 list. Um, yeah, this one's about top 10 cards I want in pre-modern. This is something I've been thinking about a little bit, and then recently, or well, whenever this video goes up, probably won't be recent, but recent now, when I'm recording, they were talking about it in the Discord about like cards that people may or may not want in pre-modern and stuff, and I was like, oh, I might as well work on this because this is something I had on the back burner, and I'm like, oh, this would be interesting and fun. So yeah, let's go ahead and get talking about this. All right, so first up, we got some honorable mentions. There's a lot of reasons I didn't put these on the actual list, but let's just go over them a little bit. Um, so yeah, Mirrodin Block was a really sweet set, and there's a ton of cards I really liked in Mirrodin Block, in like extended and stuff, and I think that made the format a lot better, a lot more interesting. The only problem is like a lot of it was obviously just completely busted, in older formats. It's hard. I can't. It's hard to think of like a set that's even more. I mean, you could say the second Mirrodin block, mostly just because of like misstep and surgical extraction were pretty strong, but those had really well misstep especially had really outsized impacts. But I think for like overall brokenness, I think you really can't go get much better than the original Mirrodin block. But anyways, needless to say, some of these cards would be certainly too good. Obviously, anyone remembers PT Tinker from New Orleans when Mirrodin just came out. Stuff like Chromox was a little ridiculous and enabled the Tinker decks too much, and obviously a lot of it was all of the silly artifacts you can fetch with Tinker, because now it's like, okay, it's not just Phyrexian Colossus is like the best thing to fetch. It's like you had all sorts of crazy things like Platinum Angel and stuff, and Bosch even. It's pretty ridiculous. Um, so yeah, that was sweet. But I do like Chromox and stuff like Madness. Madness is really great when you can be like turn one like Island, like Chromox pitching a green card, play Wild Mongrel. It's like okay, now we're off to the races because that's definitely a deck that really wants to. You really start doing stuff at 2 mana. So I think that'd be pretty sweet. Um, so yeah, I think obviously Chromox for the most part would be pretty broken. I think, and the current metagame, which is why it's only an honorable mention. But it is a sweet, fun card, and it would be good in decks like Madness, which I think would be cool. Then we have Crucible of Worlds. It's another card from the original Mirrodin block, and I like Crucible. I think it's fun, and it'd be really sweet to have this card legal because, while it's fun in the prison decks. I mean, there's a good chance, again, it could be like overpowered. I mean, obviously, it's pretty strong with fetch lands, and then, of course, using it with Wasteland, and then also being able to replay, say, like your just a land every turn for Smokestack. Pretty sweet. Lock people out. Yeah, that would be sweet. And then you have stuff like Jungle Lion from Portal. It'd be nice to have the Portal sets legal, but it doesn't really matter because most of the cards in them just aren't very good. Jungle Lion is pretty sweet though, notable exception. Probably the best 2/1 you could play in Stompy. And it has sweet art, and I love it. And it'd be nice to play it. Gifts Ungiven. This would be a pretty cool build around. Definitely cards out a different space than Fact or Fiction. Um, Again, could possibly be broken. I can't think of any like 2 card combos, like easy 2 card combos off the top of my head, but it'd be pretty cool. Sea Drake, another sweet portal card. Had a lot of fun playing with this in Legacy a million years ago. This has sweet art. Look at that Rebecca Guay art. Oof, and it's great. And it's got a Drake, and it's cool. Light from Malone, another build around. That'd be pretty fun in the lands style decks. There's pretty much like I really like cards that like make you build around them and create distinct archetypes. And I think Light from Malone, this could be a card like that would be pretty sweet, pretty fun to play in pre-modern. I mean, the only problem is like I only really want these cards in the format if they actually like got reprinted with like old art or whatever. I mean, this is mostly just like just for funsies. But if they ever did, I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's make sure this thing actually has old art. Otherwise, it just triggers my autism a little bit. At least the Crucible, the one I have here, the Judge one, is actually is has the old border on it, which is sweet. Looks good. And then last, but probably least, maybe not least, I don't know. Jite. Jite is pretty sweet, pretty fun. I like the card. It's definitely really fun to play in all like creature-based decks. I really like playing it in like White Weenie and stuff. That was always pretty sweet. Um, yeah, it's a sweet card. I like it. I mean, it might be a little over centralizing, but that's probably why it's only honorable mention. But enough of this. Let's get that out of the way. All done. So let's move on to the top 10. All right, look at that, friggin' fetch lands. Yeah, this definitely applies. Like, I want these in old border. That'd be sweet, so they match my onslaught ones. But I think this is pretty much the only real new cards that I'd want outside of like random build around stuff. Uh, I don't want, yeah, like anything like Tarmogoyf, whatever, be like, just too centralizing and it's just too good, really. Um, just like, oh, you can't. It just is too good. It really outclasses so much stuff and makes stuff kind of bad. But anyways, yeah, I like the idea of new fetches because it's. I think having to think about building your mana base is good. The only problem is we don't really have like total like mirrored sort of ability to play like the a good mana base for enemy colored decks, and that kind of sucks. So I think yeah, adding the Zendikar fetch lands would be nice, so you can play your enemy color decks. That'd be pretty cool, and I think it'd make the format a little bit better, being able to play a little bit better mana bases. But I do like how the format is set up, where you do have to think about uh, how many non-basics you're gonna play, how much damage you're taking or whatever. Like you can play three colors, but you're gonna take a lot of damage, and your mana might not always work out. But I think just a simple two-color deck having access, if they're enemy colors, being able to have access to the your basic lands and stuff like that. That's fine. I think that'd be good. Um, yeah, I think it'd be sweet. These are cool. These are cool. So hey, uh, just reprint fetch lands. Reprint them in old border. That'd be good. Even if even if I can't play them in pre-modern, I want old bordered Zendikar fetches. Anyways, let's get on to some more interesting stuff. Number 9. Okay, so this one is so high up on the list, or low, or whatever you want to say. Probably because it's just going to be obscenely broken. I mean, especially that Frantic Search is just somewhat recently unbanned. Obviously, that'd be pretty nuts. And you still have like Merchant Scroll and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's probably a little too good. But I love this card. Um, Definitely really sweet. I mean, back in the day, you remember when blue could do everything, even produce extra mana. Even before Academy, it's like, oh man, blue decks can produce a million mana. That's fair, right? Yeah, this would be sweet. It'd just probably be too broken. I'd love to play High Tide. I wish if it was legal, and it wasn't too overpowered. I think that'd be a fun deck to play. But it probably is overpowered, which is unfortunate. But I love High Tide. Most of the pre Ice Age stuff. I mean, outside of like obscenely broken things like Power Nine, Workshop, Bazaar, stuff like Mana Drain, things like that. There's just not a lot of really good stuff. Um, yeah. Oh, speaking of which, another honorable mention. I should have put up there Kirdape. Kirdape would have been a great one to have. Shoot, I'll have to put Kirdape on there somewhere. Crap. Anyways, Kirdape is sweet. I love Kirdape. Anyways, enough about High Tide. Probably just broken, but I just wanted to mention it anyways. Okay, talk about broken. Okay, so these are not everything on this list is going to be insane. All the stuff on the higher up end is mostly just stuff that I really like or miss playing with. But yeah, obviously stuff like him and Sinkhole don't exactly make better games. especially in a format with like Dark Ritual and like Mox Diamond and Lotus Petal and stuff to ramp them out. But they're fun. They're super fun. I love playing Sinkhole and Hymn to Turok. I just want to play him in Suicide Black again. No big deal, right? Just like Rit Rit Duress Sinkhole Sinkhole. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, these cards are sweet. I think they're like you may or may not want them both together. It may or may not be okay to have them both or one or the other in the format. I mean, obviously they're pretty insanely strong. Uh, but I don't know. It seems cool. It seems fun. But they certainly don't make for good games. But there's already kind of stuff like that. But I don't know how much like the format you really want to be pushed in those sort of directions. But hey, who knows? Either or. These are pretty sweet, fun old cards. Definitely, stuff I always loved casting. I think everyone else would too. I mean, right? Who doesn't love Sinkhole? Ah, look at that sweet art. Sandra Everingham, Susan Van Camp. They always did great art. Love those ladies. Anyways, let's get on to number 7. Wrong number 7. Sorry. There we go. Wrong Berserk. Okay, this one is sweet. This is a sweet card. This could be played in Stompy, any of the Tog sort of decks. This would be pretty good there too. Um, and then not even counting stuff like, I guess you could play it on like your Phyrexian Dreadnought. You get Super Trample, and it's a 24/2 or whatever. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, this is a pretty fun card. Be pretty interesting to play. Definitely the right power level. Very strong, but only goes in like certain decks. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like this card. I like casting Berserk. It's always good fun. So yeah, you get to play it in a deck that's not Infect. I can't remember if Berserk was actually played very much in like the old Stompy decks in Vintage. It's been a long time, but maybe it was restricted back then, so maybe they did. I'm not sure. So, anyways, yeah, not much to say about Berserk. It'd be good in some random decks. Definitely not too strong. Very fun card. The only problem is like, I guess it was reprinted recently, um, but was it? Gosh, what set was it reprinted in? I can't remember off the top of my head. Um, I think it was reprinted, right? Yes, it was. Okay, yeah, it has the dude busting out with the like turning into a beast basically. That's kind of cool. Anyways, this is a good card. Not much to say. It'd be fun. Certainly not overpowered. Okay, so this one, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So this one's probably too much. I mean, I don't know, like, do we really need to give Slidex like even more direct upgrades? It's like, okay, you don't even have to worry about playing Volcanic Hammer. You can play Chain Lightning. And for some reason, I always thought like Chain Lightning was also from the Dark, I think. I'm like, oh, this had the same art as it looked like the art was so similar to Ball Lightning for some reason. Like I put the two of them together in my head. Um, and of course it's done by Sandra Everingham, so that's good. It's got sweet art. Obviously this card's really strong. Probably makes Sly a little too powerful or whatever, but I love this card. Who doesn't love casting Chain Lightning? Um, yeah, a lot of these old school cards, but old school is so expensive to play um, that it's like, it'd be kind of nice to have other places to play this stuff. Well, I guess like you could play it in Legacy Burn too, but yeah, freaking Chain Lightning, sweet. I guess again, not much more to say about this card. I mean, it's slightly worse Lightning Bolt. Not much else to say. All right. So I was always confused. I was like, wait, regrowth isn't legal? Apparently it's not. I think a lot of these cards, like the last time they were printed was in revised. So yeah, it was pretty. This card's pretty powerful in old school. Obviously, you can recur all your broken restricted stuff. Like your ancestrals or Lotus, or get back your strip mine. That's pretty good. So yeah, this is a sweet card. Doesn't see much legacy play, i.e., none at all. and I actually don't think it's ever been played in really any deck I can think of, because it was unbanned when the Legacy format took its current shape in like 2004-ish, and just never did anything. Unfortunate, unfortunate. I mean, I guess, Snapcaster kind of took its place, really. But, yeah, Regrowth, that'd be fun. It'd be a good card. Um, I love Regrowth. Lots of different places you can put it. Be pretty cool in something like the Rock. You could recur, like, your deeds and stuff, or, like, um, be able to get back, like, your Cabal therapies. Something like Eternal Witness would be pretty cool, too. That would be a sweet card. I always like playing with Eternal Witness. Like, yeah, Regrowth and/or Eternal Witness would be sweet. Obviously, I really like Eternal Witness with Cabal Therapy is awesome. One of my favorite things. So, yeah, both those cards would be sweet. Regrowth mostly just because it's old and sweet and doesn't see a lot of play in other places that isn't old school. Man, look at that art. That's beautiful. All right, let's go to number 4. All right, another card that basically isn't legal. Like, it was in Revised, and then it was also in Darksteel. So, like, really, these two sets sandwiching pre-modern, and you can't even play your damn Juggernauts. I mean, it'd be cool, I think, if you could play Su-Chi, but I don't think they can actually reprint Su-Chi, because I think Su-Chi's on the reserve list, I think. But it would be sweet to play Juggernaut and/or Su-Chi. Su-Chi's well, yeah, it's probably better than Juggernaut just because it doesn't get killed by Bolt. Um, and yeah, I guess there's no mana burn anymore, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, being able to play these in like a sort of aggressive, like Ancient Tomb style deck might be pretty fun. That'd be pretty sweet. A sort of tools and tubbies kind of thing, like the old TNT decks. Or I guess just mono brown. That'd be cool. Yeah, definitely a card that would probably see a little bit of play in those mono brown style decks, but not much elsewhere. So this would be a sweet one to add, I think. And I mean, who doesn't want to cast Juggernauts? Another card that doesn't see enough play. Look how sweet that is. What is even going on there? There are even walls in this format that it can't be blocked by, like Wall of Blossoms and stuff, and Wall of Roots. Pretty sweet. All right. Yeah, this guy apparently was last in Revised, although not with this art. I think it had the If Biff Afreed art, but this card would be sweet. 3 mana, 3/4 flyer with a minor drawback. Again, somehow blue cards just had everything. Like, that's actually pretty good stats for back in the day. I mean, even today, that'd still be pretty solid. Um, yeah, man, it's sweet art. I mean, I honestly don't know what the hell's going on in the art. Is that is he coming out of a lamp? I think I literally just noticed that he's coming out of a lamp. What does he have? Like a claw on one hand, like a sliver claw, then like I don't know. That's a weird looking Efreet, but yeah, this is a sweet card. This is a fun card. Where would you play it? I don't know. But that's kind of the cool thing about this. It maybe make a new deck or power up a kind of mono blue tempo kind of thing. You could play Cloud of Fairies in that deck, right? Pretty sweet. So yeah, this would be a fun card. Definitely the right power level. I'm not sure where you would play it, but it definitely has potential. I mean, look at that art. That art is sweet. Okay, another blue card that can do anything, because blue does everything. Psyblast. This is a sweet card. I always like playing it in Fish, and there's obviously a lot of other different places you can play it. Uh, Pretty interesting stuff. Certainly not overpowered. Being able to, burn stuff in blue or finish off your opponent, that would be pretty cool. But I don't think it'd see a lot of widespread adoption just because it's a little clunky and, it does have a drawback of, you take 2 damage. But it could be interesting. I think, again, a sort of tempo style deck would probably like this quite a bit. I'd like to play it in Fish. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty sweet. That deck is basically no removal. outside of Legacy's Allure. So this would be a nice card for that. Yeah, not much else to say. I mean, most of these cards are pretty self-explanatory. So let's get on to number 1. That's right. I think a lot of these cards are like sort of grouped together pretty closely. I think I kind of all want most of them in the format for the most part. I mean, maybe not some of the more obviously broken cards, like, Chain Lightning or Him and Sinkhole or whatever. Those may or may not make the format better. But all the other cards that could be reprinted are all kind of closely together. So any of them probably could be like number 1. But I do like Maze of Ith because it is another card that would be good in like a land style deck, which would be sweet. Everyone likes playing those kind of land style decks. Those are fun, and they aren't really. I mean, sure, there's like turbo lands, but this would help make a more like land style deck viable. I think 'cause, gives you a way to stop attackers and stuff like that. Because you already have Glacial Chasm. So that'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty interesting. So yeah, Maze of Ith would be awesome. I mean, I guess you could even play it in like some some super dirtily blue-white control thing, or mono blue or something like that. And obviously we have Wasteland in this format to take care of like obnoxious stuff, and you already have stuff like Sabo's Web, which already punishes these sort of things really hard. So yeah, and of course it can't make mana, so you do have like there is a drawback to it. So yeah, this would actually be pretty cool in blue-white control because you have to make them commit more cards to the board, and that makes your Wrath of Gods a lot better. So, yep, yep. I mean, there's not much more to say. I guess, yeah, a lot of these cards are pretty self-explanatory, have been played with in a lot of other places. Um, Outside the cards that are just broken and maybe just too good, these are the ones that I think I want in the format. Not a lot of new border post 8th edition stuff because I don't like the new borders that much. At least, and you don't really want them mixing with the old border stuff unless they were reprinted in old border, right? Uh, but yeah, I like all this stuff. It's pretty sweet. Look at this friggin' Maze of Ith. Man, I don't even know what's going on. It's like a brain or something. Brain looking thing. It looks like one of them is like a guy wrapped up in a cocoon that's stuck in the maze or something. Huh. Weird Anson Maddox art. But yeah, I like it. Friggin' give me more Maze of Ith. I can't even pronounce it right. It's like I have a lisp. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this, another random top 10 thingy. And have a great day.